Hello, 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 and welcome to the show. It's Wrestling with Entertainment, bringing you the latest exclusive breaking news, previewing and reviewing the latest shows from WWE, AEW, New Japan, and everything in between every Saturday and now Sundays on YouTube and Castbox. I am your host, James J. Joining me tonight, starring Kaliko Yachts.
Watch a look, party! Take two!
Super
Yeah, buddy.
Also starring Mitch Mayhem and Scooter Dust, who could not join us tonight. It seems like we could only do these watch-alongs with one person. Scooter Dust was
Actually
on
works better.
the front end,
Works better that way.
Kaliko on the back end.
Honestly, it works better that way. Feel like sometimes we get too many cooks in the kitchen on the watch-alongs, and we all try to get a play.
I mean, it is just one match.
It is.
And we are celebrating the 25th anniversary of In Your House by watching along our favorite matches. This was supposed to be Mitch Mayhem's pick, but as you could tell, he is not here, nor does he have the WWE network to watch it. So I called an audible and thought of what is the most iconic match from this the In Your House span, and only one match came to mind, and that was the original Hell in a Cell match between Undertaker and Shawn Michaels. So we are wrestling with In Your House Bad Blood. Shawn Michaels, Undertaker, Hell in a Cell. Now you're gonna wanna fire up your WWE Network, your DVD players, your VHS, your Betamax if you still got it, and you're gonna wanna go to 209.43 on the WWE Network. And when I say 3, 2, 1, play, we're gonna start the show. Do you understand, Kaliko Yachts?
What? Of course I got it. Of course we got it.
Do
You know I
not
had to
Mitch
do
Mayhem.
that.
Do not Mitch Mayhem me. Damn it. Alright. 3, 2, 1, play. Now this is something that gets lost on in the history books. Shelton Slaughter was the general manager of Monday Night Raw.
Yeah, and this was what, like, he would actually be the genesis of how DX's antics, in a sense of Sergeant Slaughter being the Law and Order guy, and Triple H and Shawn Michaels just being a bunch of punk asses and screwing them over every chance they can get. And China, if you
Yeah.
will. So,
I'm
and
glad
then
she's
this was
finally
what?
in the WWE Hall of Fame. It was resolved.
Yeah, she got in last year, and it's crazy because everybody's just like, when it comes to these Hall of Fames, everybody wants to put all the dead people in all at once, and Vince
Because it takes
has
them
this
too long
thing.
to put them in. I mean, damn it.
Well, it's not the point. It's not the point of. I mean, if he could, he would, but I think he wants to give, like, he'll do one posthumous to try not to dampen the mood that a lot of people are dead. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, and also I feel like that is the right way to go, to give people their roses while they're here. Yet you can make the argument with China, they were hella late, and I wouldn't even argue that. I wouldn't argue against that. But for the most part, you try to give the people who are kicking the roses while they're here, so they won't be, another China.
And I could make the argument that Rick Rude should have been inducted in DX as well. He was there when they were named DX. So, he's
Yeah,
kind of like the lost member.
true, but right when they were starting to jump off the feet, he jumps to WCW. So a lot of people were jumping to WCW in '97. just put it, let's
Oh,
just
yeah.
put it that way. Uh, Keep in mind, and this started another this is another look into another feud that we really didn't take seriously up until WrestleMania 25, Shawn Michaels and the Undertaker. Uh, it's crazy how many times they crossed each other's path and literally two totally different lifestyles,
Yeah.
and and I could tell you, and you could probably get the feeling that they probably had wrestling respect for each other, but as people, Sean was still dealing with his shit in '97. Yes, he was, and
Well, this was
and
the height
Taker's
of those issues.
and Taker being the I could make an argument he's more of a foundation for Vince than anyone else. I mean, other than Shawn Michaels, I say, but these two were basically the foundation concrete for Vince McMahon in '97, considering that Michaels took the heat just 1 month later for the screw job and Taker, not leading a revolt against Vince in that same, you know,
Absolutely.
in that same vein. So,
What are your thoughts on this Undertaker right here with the jacket? Um, are you the hat and coat guy or this kind of jacket Undertaker?
well, fun fact, this was probably the time I wasn't scared to take. I remember I was 9 years old, and when Undertaker first came out, dark and putting people in body bags, I jumped to the other side of the fucking room. I leave the room like I ain't finna check out for this shit. No sir, we out of here. But 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 as I realized, what was going on with wrestling and Taker, and I was like, oh, okay, it's not so bad. But I say this was probably best look, uh, his best look, um, as far as Taker. This is one of my favorite looks of him. It's better than Badass, that's for sure. Even though Badass is more him than anything else, it's more closer to who the Undertaker is outside of the persona than anything else in his life. Uh, so yeah, this one was to me probably one of the better ones because it was everybody was hot like fire back then.
Right, and you said about the American Badass. Just looking back at Undertaker, some of my favorite matches from Undertaker are in that American Badass generation. So
Really,
yeah, so I guess American Badass is up there for me. Um,
and
this
and I could see it because it was him. It was truly who he was as a person. Not it wasn't him playing with the demons and all this other shit. It was his personal lifestyle as a biker, as a rock and roll guy. He's also a country guy as far as music. I always like seeing what type of music people like. But yeah, he's a country guy, a rock guy, and it was closer to him. It was closer to Mark Calloway than it was the Undertaker.
right. Look at Shawn Michaels selling the structure.
Oh
Just like,
yeah,
oh my
and this
god,
was
I'm in this hell in a cell. What the hell is it? Why am I here?
and this is the first time people 10 rows back couldn't really get a good view because everybody else because you couldn't see shit through the cage.
Well,
Oh god,
I've seen Hell in
that
a
was boy.
I've seen a Hell in a Cell match in person, and I pretty much saw everything that happened. It didn't seem like it was like there was any obstruction.
I'm talking about for my cats in the upper decks, not
Oh,
not the guys in the bottom bowl. They're gonna be able to see shit. It's the guys in the top deck when you really can't see because of shit going on the other side of the cage, kind of deal. Just based on the visual perception.
yeah, no.
And Taker's just beating the shit out of Shawn. And just to put this in context, this match is happening due to the fact that Taker was the WWF champion at this time. Shawn Michaels was so pissed off at Brett, therefore he tried to swing a chair at Brett, ends up hitting Taker. Brett takes the heel route. Michaels counts the 3. Brett's your champion at this point, and Taker's like, "Bitch, I'm coming after you." That's where we are as far as the storyline goes.
Great context. It is worth noting that the month early, prior to this, Shawn Michaels and Undertaker wrestled in a medal match that went to a no contest. That was also the paid preview that Scooter Dust picked in week 2. Well, Bret Hart wrestled the Patriot.
Yes. And this was basically Sergeant Slaughter trying to make sure that Shawn Michaels gets his, because this was kind of like the genesis of Sergeant Slaughter being the law and order guy and kind of like trying to throw his weight as general manager. I mean, he was throwing it against Stone Cold. He was throwing it against Shawn Michaels and Triple H. So it made sense. I mean,
Right.
and this match also was the determining factor of who is going to be the number 1 contender, which Shawn Michaels wins, and we know what happens literally a month later.
Yep. Bret screws Bret.
So it's just funny how like as much as it's funny how we look at 97. Like we said earlier, I feel like we've all picked 97, but and 97 was, I think, WWE's 8th reflection point. It was the point where wrestling was everything else except the wrestling. It put more eyeballs on it than anything else.
Right. I mean, if in '98, they just started doing normal paid previews, which was uh, you know, I can't
They're like
remember
the backlashes
the
and
backlashes, the
yeah,
no mercies, the unforgivens. So,
yeah,
and we could have done those if they had in your house in the front of them. But this was kind of the last year of In Your House. The last In Your House show was actually in '99, February of 1999, the St. Valentine's Massacre pay preview.
yeah, which was in Memphis, Tennessee. I know I was there. Stone Cold versus Vince McMahon. Yeah, I was there at the
You
pyramid.
were there? Wow.
No,
Kudos to you.
yeah, man, yeah, man. Uh,
You know that
whole
building's
different.
is a outdoorman an outdoorsman retail
Oh yeah,
store.
it's a Bass Pro
Best
Shop.
pro
It's
shop, yeah.
got a hotel in the bitch and everything. So yeah, I know. I know. Trust, trust in, trust me, sir. As Shawn Michaels sells this structure, and you know what's funny? I think they were smart about getting away from the in your house concept because it kind of detached away from the hokiness of 95 at that of their previous years, 95 and 96. So
Well, In Your
Because
House was an
people,
unproven concept in '95 when they started it. It was the first
true,
time that they did monthly paid previews.
yeah, but it was also under the concept of people giving away a house. I mean, ain't no sense of calling it in your house anymore. after, after you, unless they were like giving away homes every month, which would have been freaking sweet. But other than the first one, what was the what was the reasoning to name them in your houses after that? You know what I mean?
That you know that this is going to be a live event esque show. That it's only going to be 2.5 hours. You know, you're gonna have to pay a little bit more for WrestleMania, Royal Rumble, SummerSlam, Survivor Series. But for $20, you're gonna get a show called In Your House.
Oh no, it wasn't even $20. The first in your house, 14.95 to kill to have that. I mean, think about that. So 14.95 and 95, and now you got the WWE Network
Which is nine ninety
for
nine.
only 9.99. Mitch, get the fucking network. That's what I'm. That's basic, basically what that came from, right? Like, um, but back to the match. Shawn Michaels got powerbombed by Taker. He's out like a light. Um, honestly, this was probably like, considering this was the first one, this one was probably the most well done as far as like storyline is concerned. I mean,
Oh yeah.
of course, Taker Mankind gets the greatest of all time, but that was because a guy ended up in the hospital and a tooth went through his nose. We really didn't think about like what happened in storyline with that. Like this match actually had the match served the purpose of it, the consequences therein.
Context.
Exactly, and that's can't beat that. And for Shawn Michaels to be going through some shit and still being able to put on performances, shit, man. Think about when he came back in '02 and he got his shit together. Like he was on a
Right.
roll.
Well, the thing about Shawn Michaels was, yeah, he had his personal shit he was dealing with, but when it came to in that ring, when he was in that ring, nobody could touch him. He still took his work ethic super seriously.
And to me, that's why I make the argument he's the greatest of all time to me. And no disrespect
Oh
to
yeah.
Ric Flair, but Michaels was so on again, off again with wrestling, it made no sense. And for him to be so on again, off again, dealing with personal shit, fucking Sonny, uh, uh, getting beat up by a bunch of Marines, getting put in the hospital, losing his smile, da 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 da, screw job, da 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 da, and for him to still be putting on these matches, I mean, good God, man, like if that just tells you like he's able to block everything out and just
Yeah.
focus, yo. That tells me his focus is fucking uncanny.
And it is worth mentioning that, obviously the next month, Montreal Screwjob. Uh, and then 2 months after that is the Royal Rumble, where Undertaker and Shawn Michaels would have a casket
Casket
match for the
match.
WWE Championship, which
Yep.
would ultimately end Shawn Michaels' career until 2002. I mean, yeah, he had the
Yep.
match with Stone Cold, but that wasn't a Shawn Michaels match.
Actually, there was one match Shawn Michaels did, and it was in San Antonio. It wasn't a WWE sanctioned match, but it was a match nonetheless that he did. It was more like a street fight type deal. with the local promotion. So he did do a match after. And if I can remember that, I will get it once I find it. I remember that match. But keep in mind, man, yeah, it's just nuts. Like this guy was like putting on classics, man.
with everybody he got in the ring with.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. And I think he was the guy. I mean, him and Brett changed the perception of wrestling forever. I mean, don't get me wrong, Ric Flair did his thing, but it was still in a land of giants. And to see these guys who are of average height, and it just showed how much the athleticism and the technicality mattered. I mean, Macho Man was technical, but he was also he was a big guy, like a swollen guy. Um, the Heartbreak Kid didn't have like the the tagline, the line that like "ooh yeah, and brother,"
Right.
but his ring work is what got him over, and the fact that he was hot as hell to the ladies.
And this is probably the one of the better versions of Shawn Michaels. I could make the argument that the '96 run with the championship was kind of lackluster, in my mind, just considering that he was being somebody he wasn't. You know, this this was Shawn Michaels as who he was at this time, which was kind of a douchebag. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, this was like the same way we said that uh that the American Badass was closer to Mark than Undertaker. This was closer to Shawn than anybody. Yeah, this was basically who he was backstage. I mean,
Right.
even he admits it. He was a dick. He was a prick. He was an asshole. He had a clique. He would put politics in it,
All parts of
and
genitalia.
yeah, I mean, yeah, it happened. And what he practically wrecked a home with Chris Candido and Sonny. So, but with all that being there, when it was time to do that job, he was there. Think about that. Like, as much as he got shit for being a dick, he was loyal to who he needed to be loyal to.
Uh, Actually, no. He tried to get himself fired like a couple times so he'd go to WCW so he could be with Nass and Hall.
No, I'm talking about when it comes to the screw job because
Oh yeah,
he could have opted out the match.
he could have. You're absolutely right about that.
Like that's what I was talking about. We all know about the fact that he was trying to go join his buddies in WCW. That goes without saying. But to go with what was going on then, you had to been a loyal motherfucker.
Or you must have really hate Brett.
It could be both. but, but I mean, yeah, I still, yeah. It's crazy how that shit works.
Some context to this. This took place October 5th, 1997, in St. Louis, Missouri, at the Kiel Center. The attendance was 21,151. So,
Yeah,
a lot more people at this show than any of the shows we've done so far. The Final Four, Ground Zero, and Canadian Stampede.
yeah. I mean, this was where I think the stadiums were being built to put a lot of people in seats at this time. Because keep in mind, it wasn't like other than like football stadiums, everything else wasn't going to be like over 15,000, 16,000. So this is where like they were just trying to do it to get it packed in. And in wrestling, you can get even more packed in because you only need a 20 by 20 and everything else, 20 by 20 a ramp and get everybody else around it. But it also just shows how the 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 pendulum was swinging to WWF because these stories were just nuts, man. The stories were crazy,
Right.
and and it just felt like at this time in '97, a lot of lines were getting blurred, and especially between Taker and not Taker and Shawn, but between Brett and and between Brett and Shawn, and then Austin and Pillman with the pistol, and you see, so it was just like a lot of blur, like because a lot of these people that people were feuding with, it dealt with real life shit, so it was like whoa, it wasn't like Jeff Jarrett going against Diesel in '95. This was like, yo, Brian Pillman and Austin used to be tight, and they ain't tight. What the fuck happened? Let's see what's going on. Brett and Sean didn't like each other for fucking years, and now it's starting to come off on in real life, in the ring. Let's see where this goes. Taker and Sean really didn't have a great, personal relationship because of the whole click things, little squads they had backstage. Let's
Right.
see how this looks. So it just shows like, and plus this was like where the internet was coming in, and people were reading into the back behind the scenes to figure out what was going on. This was probably the best part, but this was like the beginning of the end as far as just letting what happened in the ring happen in the ring, and everybody wanted to know what happened backstage, and
I mean, uh, a lot of it, bled in. So I mean, you didn't even need to go to the spoiler sheets to kind of figure out what's going on. You could kind of tell.
it's like what the fuck, bro? Beats up on the cameraman, tosses Taker on the other side where the cameraman is, or then he goes back to the cameraman, picks his punk ass up.
That's
This was like, yo, they beating up the cameraman, bro. When I was like, what, 13 watching this, 13, 14, like, whoa, they beat up the cameraman now, like, damn, Sean, like,
it tells you how
what the fuck?
it just shows you how much of going back to Shawn Michaels being an asshole.
Oh yeah, dick,
Yeah.
dick move, whether that was intentional or not. But I would like to see them do something about that. Like, uh, uh I would like to see a Taker Sean review of this match where they would talk about what the hell was happening with this cameraman. Because was he for real, or was that like, yo? Because this is where like it was like
No,
no more Mister Nice Guy Russell, no more Mister, oh, good guy, bad guy. There's a lot of blurred lines. Like,
that was to get that's so they could open the door so they could, go on top of the cell. That's why they
I
attacked the
mean,
cameraman.
word. Look at that. And he hits that elbow drop. Shawn Michaels got a nice elbow drop. Underrated.
And Randy Savage #1. I think Shawn Michaels is #2.
Yeah. I like seeing Punk's, but his hips be out. Kyrie Sane's probably third on this on that elbow is like the thing of beauty. Look like she puts all 110 pounds into her fucking.
She kind of does like a leapfrog when she does the elbow drop.
That's what I'm talking about. She puts all 105 pounds into that motherfucker.
And you see the doors opening. They're trying to get the cameraman out. Shawn Michaels
Oh,
tuning up the
oh, because
band.
he hits the super kick, and Taker's like, bitch, that ain't nothing. He pulled a Leo Rush. He
No
hit the
cell.
finisher. They're like, yeah, it just popped out. No cell. I know y'all. Oh,
No, exactly. No job. Well,
Oh,
yeah, but
yeah, but I jumped back up. And then you
ooh,
got Michaels.
that looks
Michaels,
dangerous.
yep. And Michaels busted. You got Taker giving him some haymakers. Bang, bang, boom. Now, this is where I'd be like, where's Triple H? Because he's a bad homie right now. He should be helping his friend. You see his friend getting his ass beat. You supposed to help the homie. And you just seeing Shawn getting lawn darted into the damn cage.
I mean, if your friend was getting pummeled by a 6'8" man in a cage match, would you help him?
Hell yeah. I know bitch. So Taker, yep, they're jumping around, and it's just crazy how
That's
that
one of the
big that
best
cage
views.
was.
That angle, yeah.
Cameraman can't even like squeeze through the guardrail between the rail and the cage. It's just crazy how big that damn thing was.
He got some good
And then
angles on this show.
yeah, for it to be the first time yeah, you would think that it would be like crazy with the angles, and then Michael's going up the cage. And I think if this match didn't happen the way it did, it it set a precedent that this match actually can. There's consequences of jumping in this match, to jumping on this cage.
Now the main event of this is the main event of Bad Blood, but the undercard was the Nation of Domination, D'Lo Brown, Kama Mustafa, and Rocky Maivia defeated the Legion of Doom. Max Mini and Nova defeated Moisak and Tarantula. Uh,
Max Mini Hall of Fame.
oh yeah. The Godwins defeated the Headbangers. Owen Hart defeated Farouk. The Disciples of Apocalypse defeated Los Boricuas.
Boricua,
And
Boricua.
Bret Hart and British Bulldog defeated the Patriot Invader in a flag match.
And keep in mind that the Owen Hart defeating Farouk was actually a tournament because Stone Cold Steve Austin gave the title up due to the neck getting fucked up, in which Brian Pillman actually faced Owen Hart in the semifinals of the tournament.
Actually, no. The Max Mini Nova match was actually a substitute for Brian Pillman and Goldust.
No, no,
Because
no, no. I'm talking about leading
okay,
up until leading in the tournament when they had the tournament through up until the pay per view. One of Brian Pillman's last handful of matches was with Owen Hart in the
right.
semifinals. Not at the pay per view, but leading up to the pay per view.
And here
Because
comes the Shawn Michaels bump.
yeah,
Oh,
yep, ooh, takes it on the chin. This was like where it was like, whoa, you know what I mean?
yeah.
Like Michaels was like, man, I took this hard, and Mick Foley's like, hold my beer, bitch, and 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 to think like Michael's bleeding like a sieve here, man. It's bananas how this match just it told a story, and this match told the story where it's like Michaels was really trying to get the fuck away from Taker, yo. Like you knew he fucked up, you know what I mean?
Oh
Like
yeah. That Tito
and
Santana
Shawn,
on the Spanish announce team.
ain't that the French? Yeah, I think that was with Miguel Cabrera. Is it Miguel Cabrera? Something like that. And there's the French team getting their tables fucked up. Jerry Lawler like, what the hell? And Shawn is just eating it, man. That blood is crazy.
Yeah, he got some good
That is
juice.
like this is nuts. Keep in mind, this is the second to last pay-per-view Vince McMahon calls
Oh
as an
no, this is the
announcer.
last one. This is the last pay per
What?
view he calls.
Oh no, because I thought he called. Wasn't he with? Oh no, he wasn't.
No, he
I
wasn't
thought he
on
was with
the.
the Screwdrive.
No,
Yeah,
he
so this
wasn't.
was like the last. This was the last one where simpletons like me at the time didn't think Vince was nothing. Whole time he running the whole damn thing from the damn announcement booth.
Wait a
But
minute.
running the
But
whole.
wait a minute. In '97, you still thought Vince McMahon was just a commentator?
Keep in mind, I at this time when I was 13. So 13, I'm watching it and everybody's watching it from where I'm from, like in the South. We took this shit seriously. And
Okay.
here's what I'm gonna say. Here's what I'm gonna say. In the South, in no particular order, these are what is important in life at that time in '97. Jesus, NASCAR, college football, high school football, wrestling. Those were the things that were important. We took shit serious. But when it came to wrestling, we kind of took it seriously. We watched it. We believed it. I mean, yeah, it was like a little. You could say we were kind of like marks or just like simpletons, but you just loved the appeal of it and how close to life it was. And plus me, I didn't have no internet like that. Shit, I wouldn't run around and read dirt sheets. I was fucking watching this shit like, yo, what the fuck?
I mean, but I mean, Vince McMahon literally came on Monday Night Raw and said, "I'm the owner of WWE, and this is all a soap opera."
In '97?
Yeah,
I
like,
mean, yeah, you might have a
ooh,
shot. You might have a point there, but to me, I was just like, in Memphis and Atlanta, we was like not joking with this. And oh shit, the lights
I
are
gotta,
dark, and this is also why this is an important thing because I mean Taker had this bitch won, and then this guy pops out, and everybody's like, who the fuck is this dude? And then you see Paul Bearer out there.
that's gonna be Isaac Yankum. That's gonna be Isaac Yankum. That's gonna be Isaac Yankum.
And you know what was funny? When I was a kid watching that, and when he ripped the door, I was like, damn, that nigga strong. Like, damn. And Taker looking like, what the fuck, bro? Like, what?
I mean, if Undertaker's looking like what the fuck, then you know that something's gotta be off, right? I
Yeah,
mean,
you know what I mean?
Undertaker didn't get looks on his faces like that often.
Yeah. And in the height, he was just taller and just fucking. I mean, Isaac Yankum 97, swole. Swole. Like, damn, that dude was swole. Funny, this introduces the character that saves Isaac Yankum.
Yeah. And
And
would one day
boom.
save Knox County, Tennessee as well.
Oh, of course. And then he hits him with the tombstone.
This is probably one of the
Think
worst tombstones in history.
because he didn't know where to point to the camera.
Yes.
He turned to the other side, then he turned around. Basically did a whole 360.
I mean,
But
you could make the argument that he was showing everybody he had Undertaker up.
you could, or you could just say, I'm that strong that I can hold this big bitch up. Uh,
Yeah, there you
but
go. That's something
but
I haven't seen before. Paul Bearer put water on the referee to wake him up.
yeah, wake your punk ass up. Anyways, uh, uh, but yeah, in Memphis at the time, in Memphis and in Atlanta at the time, where middle school, bro, the next day we walked back to class like, yo, did you see what the hell? Who the hell is this big? I just remember all that. Like that. That's how crazy we were with the wrestling. Like we didn't care about the dirt sheets and shit. We just cared about what was happening on TV and like being able to go talk about it the next day. Because right around now, 97 to 99, it was obviously the most casual years of wrestling, watching wrestling ever. So,
Right. And Shawn Michaels has pinned The Undertaker. He is going.
and there, and there's Triple H, the bad homie. Where the fuck were you when he needed help, yo?
Yeah, he waited until Undertaker was down to get Shawn.
I know where your ass was at. China too. Where your ass? Rick Rude. Where? I'll be yelling where your ass was at. Now keep in mind, Shawn Michaels, European champion, not giving a fuck about it. and yeah, the European champion was where he was like the first Grand Slam
Yeah,
at that time. You know, winning every active belt at that time.
right. I mean, no, I don't think anybody from WWE is going to win a European Championship. Uh, Currently.
In anytime soon. And
Yeah.
funny, Jeff Hardy, the only person that has probably literally won every title within that 20-year history. And there goes the chopping. See, that's where the whole suck it.
Yeah, Shawn Michaels is
Triple H
half
was just,
dead, but yeah, suck it to the bad blood sign.
yeah. I think that was more the Sergeant Slaughter. Look at Taker like, oh my God, who is this guy? Who are
Oh,
you,
it's
brother?
brother
It's like, brother.
Kane.
And boom.
Wait, what happened to Katie?
Let's not go there.
Have
And
you
that's
ever
crazy.
have you ever heard Bruce Pritchard try to explain this rivalry in a nutshell?
Oh yeah,
It is entertaining as hell.
it is. Bruce Pritchard, shout out, love him.
And obviously Vince McMahon's last time on commentary, he left us with a good one with "That's gotta be Kane. That's gotta be Kane."
That's gotta be good. And it's funny. Production puts winner Shawn Michaels on Undertaker. Go figure. That's how they ended
Might as well put
In
just
Your
not
House.
this guy.
Bad blood. I know it wasn't that guy. But it's funny how that ended, man. I mean, 97 was a great year. It was. It was just funny how 97 just became this reflection point, especially after, I'd say once 13 hit, I think that's when WWF got their role.
um,
Started getting the groove as far as like development.
I will challenge you on that and say they didn't get on their roll until SummerSlam. Because,
Uh,
the start of 97 was kind of all over the place.
yeah, it was clunky. I'd say 13. And the reason I say 13 because the Austin Brett match kind of threw them on the map or got more eyeballs to Stone Cold.
Right. Alright, and that will conclude our coverage of In Your House Bad Blood 97. If you like the show, please like, subscribe, comment both on YouTube and Castbox. And you can join the conversation on Twitter. I'm at JamesJ993. Where can they find Kaliko Yachts?
I am Kaliko. My son is attacking me.
Is he? Did he hook you?
He's trying to put me in a sleeper hold, pal.
What a maneuver.
What a maneuver!
For Kaliko Yachts, Mitch Mayhem, and Scooter Dust, I'm James J. And this has been Wrestling with Entertainment.